This demonstration is going to show us how to mark out roughly the position for the bridle and our mortise joint across here, and tenon actually. Alright, so we're going to do the bridle first, so I'm going to focus our attention towards this here. If we have a look at our plans, we can see that the distance given for the distance from the right hand end of the top rail to where it meets our leg is a distance of 30, and if it's not told to us on the other end, we assume that it is also 30 at both ends. So back to our top rail, here it is here. It doesn't matter where we start, whether on the top or the bottom of this one, but using our rule, we're going to measure in 30 millimeters from the end. Nice sharp pencil. I always like to start at the 100 millimeters on my rule because I don't trust that that end there is always correct. 10, 20, 30, a small line there. And while I'm there, I'm going to do the other end as well. 10, 20, 30, like so. Then I grab my tri-square and using my tri-square, slide the stock of the tri-square along my material until the blade meets up perfectly with my line there. Square across my work, flip around the other end, exactly the same thing. Now we know that that is the innermost point, or the outermost point of those legs there. So how do we now mark out the shoulder position for this bridle joint? Well, this piece of hoop pine that's come out of the mill, if I was to measure that, it's coming in at, I'd say, just over 19 millimeters. But timber being timber will expand and contract depending upon the atmospheric conditions. So if it's a dry day, we've got a slight shrinkage. If it's a really humid hot day, a slight expansion. So today we're working with this piece of timber, so we need to use this piece of timber, our leg, to actually mark out on here where it's going to go. So what I need to do now, make sure I've got my face edge marks facing the right way, which they are. I then get my right hand leg, I place it on top of my rail. I place the leg so that it's resting up against my square, and I make sure the square is sliding up and down the top rail at a right angle, and I slide it up until my piece of timber is just covering my pencil line by half the thickness of the pencil line. If I now remove that piece of timber, use my nice sharp pencil, I run it down there, we've now custom fitted or custom made our pencil lines to fit exactly between the two. Now as you can see, if I'm placing my piece of timber over there, I can't see the pencil lines. That means if I cut my pencil lines away with my saw, just cut them away, then this is going to be a nice tight fit. We do the same to the other end, except we use the other leg because there's no guarantee that this leg is exactly the same as the other one. Once again, place a square on there, slide it up, slide the piece of timber up until it's half over our line, remove the square. There's our other technique for doing it as well. I can either remove the square or I can remove the timber and draw it in. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Okay, at this point, we now need to square these lines around our material. So there's a technique to make sure that we get this, these lines meeting up back around the other side here. And the technique is that the stock of the tri-square must always either be resting on the face edge, like so, on the face, or on only the opposite, the face edge, like so. So, looking down on top of my work, slide my tri-square along, make sure the pencil line's making it perfectly. 1, 2, there's my face edge mark, which means that the stock of the tri-square can go against that. You getting that? That's all right. Mm-hmm. Square that across. I think I've got that, might be a little bit out. And the last one that I want to square, the stock of the square needs to go on that face there, like so. So the rule is that the stock must always be resting either against the face or the face edge. Now if I've done everything correctly, they should meet up perfectly, which they do. That one there's about 1/4 millimeter out. And we repeat the same process on the other end to mark out the rough position for our bridle. And cut.